I'll be
Microphone, I
honest with
have
you, Mike.
questions.
We've been friends for a good number of years. I probably should hear that story before we sit down to do a live show. And we're live, by the way. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I don't have arms anymore. So
It's a good
enjoy
text.
me talking about no more video games.
How did you send this text message? With my nose. It was
Well,
hard.
I said, hey, Alexa, talk to Siri. Tell my Google to send a message. Oh, she is listening. Oh, my God.
I didn't know you even had one. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, my wife was like, nope. She didn't even like, I use it on my phone, let alone a thing sitting there that, like, nah. She ain't
I've given
it.
up. The
Well,
robots know.
I think that one of the more useful things about having more than one is the intercom feature.
Yep. Especially if you have children and you're an Italian wife like I am who screams a lot. It really lowers the level of screaming in my house by about 90%.
Well, I had already
That's a lot.
discovered that yelling as loud as I physically can doesn't get the noise upstairs anymore.
Same. My kids are now old enough to have like devices on or be listening to YouTube videos, or I don't know what they do. They scare me, quite frankly.
I feel like I need Alexa's. Oh crap! I said her name again. I feel like I need echoes in every house, in every room in the house now.
Well, speaking of saying her name, I remember last week you said your wife's name, but I could tell you were not like thrilled that you did.
I was. Thank you for editing that out.
I didn't make note
about it anymore.
I was like, yeah, he didn't sound too cool with that. So
I was like, well, if it happens, it's probably not the first time ever, but at the same time, I appreciated the fact that you took a moment to turn that into silence.
yeah, but then when you yelled out your social security card, I was like, this is just...
You made that like the bumper music, like on repeat.
Why is he doing? I guess it's intentional. So we're just gonna go with it.
Create a number station that just repeats his social over and over again. It's great. Tune in to 99.7, and
that's how I find friends.
That's one way.
I just broadcast my
broadcast your social and get all the bots to come hang out with you
on ham radio only.
And ham is not an acronym of Giant Bomb of if the Giant Beast cast
don't,
is.
I can't. Don't. Also, refrigerators do not uncook food. I just want to be very clear.
I had forgotten about that, but that was kind of.
I had to explain that in joke to my husband the other day, and he looked at me, tilted his head really hard like a dog does when they're confused at you, and then walked out of the room without saying a single word. And I was like, well, rest in peace, my marriage. It died on this day.
That's serious.
Just...
I will say, if even if it wasn't a refrigerator, if there was a device that could somehow turn meat back into raw, that would be incredible.
But why?
Yeah, why would you want that?
So it's always freshly cooked.
But then you have to do all that work all the time. I only want to do the work one time.
But like microwaved, already cooked hamburger meat just sucks.
Yeah, but it's edible. I mean, we've all
it's
done
edible.
it.
It's edible. But
we've all gone to a barbecue and bar home a plate and just heat up the food.
Oh, yeah. Because no, you don't throw that food away. That's still good.
No.
We're eating that tomorrow.
No,
I will eat cold leftovers like that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I will just grab a piece of steak and chew on it. I don't care.
If it is like
I'll grab it with my teeth.
Yeah, I just grab it and then shake it really hard, like my dog does. It's good.
Sometimes that is better than like cooking it further.
Correct. Like chicken is not good to reheat. It dries out so much. It makes me sad inside.
It depends on
you
how
have
it's
to
prepared.
Boil it or something.
Boiled chicken.
No. You like turn it into like chicken soup or something.
Okay, all right, yes. That's fine. But like and steak can be steak and eggs the second day.
Oh yeah.
Still good. Very good.
It's kind of what I had for breakfast this morning.
Mm-hmm. I had Fruit Loops, so you're actually an adult.
I had Raisin Bran Crunch. So I'm right in between there.
You're like right in the middle. Like you're like if my dad was trying to be cool. He's like, look, I got the Raisin Bran Crunch.
They are slightly frosted, so just so you know.
There's some sugar. It's way cooler this way.
My glasses are on the tip of my nose as I say this.
You push them up with your finger, reading the New York Times.
The Wall Street Journal.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're right.
The adult in me likes the raisins, but the kid in me enjoys the sugar.
Just, you wrote the commercial. I gotta go. You need to make a call to Kellogg's.
They're gonna come after us. We probably should get this thing going. Taji's in the chat. I don't know if he still is, but what's going on, Taji? I like to get his. He's a chef. I know he used to prepare food for many people. So I wonder what his take would be on cold food. We'll see if he has a response.
Oh, I wouldn't charge people for it. I just eat it because.
No, you charge more when it's cold. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's chilled.
The all ID Allah. That's how things happen.
Let me bring up the app so I can see the chat on my phone. Technology making it work for me.
Yeah, if you pull up the stream, I actually
On
have
Twitch,
it.
right?
Yeah, but but if actual stream itself, like I have all the chats are embedded. So Taji's on Mixer.
What?
So it's Mixer, YouTube, and Twitch all mixed in one.
That's awesome.
Yes, it's free too. Unless you want to have multiple of one service at once, then they charge.
It's only free as long as you continue to whisper.
Okay.
Then they charge you.
Show just like this. There once was a man from Nantucket.
That's creepy. See, now you've made it creepy.
It was whispering. It was about to happen.
Right. Oh,
That's true. Nothing good happens in a whisper.
Yeah, that's how murders are started.
Well, when you're talking to people that you're not already intimate with.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yes, you gotta caveat that. Like,
yeah. Otherwise, my husband and I have some problems.
Yeah,
like,
I
mean, we already have some problems. Okay, look.
Some things can only be expressed through a whisper, you know.
Yeah, but if you're telling them to like random strangers on the street,
no, that's called harassment.
No, you're a murderer for sure.
Yeah,
maybe a vampire. Depends on the way you see it. Nah, it's a bad look.
And even if it's all in good like good intentions, like if you walk up to somebody and whisper, "Hey, I just noticed you're not wearing any pants," it's still bad.
We have a lot to discuss if that's the example that sprung directly to your mind. Like, no,
well, if you're trying to not alert everyone else, but you just happen to want to clue someone in,
okay,
secretly,
sure,
as if no one else can tell.
Right? No one else can see that they have no pants. You're right.
It's like the Emperor's New Clothes.
Yeah. Kind of.
Goose just said a 4x4 collapsed a hole in my ceiling from a dripping roof leak. But you know, GameEnthus is on.
Wow,
that's dedication. You have good fans.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here, Goose. That's a serious thing, man.
You should probably put a garbage can under that or something. It's just
a cool wet sack. I don't know. Just
There's something about wet sack that makes me uncomfortable. We'll have to bring that up with my therapist the next time. I don't know.
He kept saying cool wet sack. I just didn't know.
This really grosses me out. Is that normal?
Yes, that's normal.
Okay, good. Sweet.
It's very normal. All right, we're going to get this thing started. Where are we?
Let's go.
119. Hey, what's going on, Chris? Super Nintendo just jumped in the chat.
That's a great name.
It is a good name. I wish I would have had it first, but yeah. Chris beat me. All right. It is Thursday, July 25th. This is GameEnthus Podcast, episode 350. You would think that I would have planned something because 350, but I didn't. So it's 350. And yeah, I'm here. I'm Aaron. I'm one of the hosts.
You decided to show up. That's enough.
Cause for celebration. Mike is here.
Take one of those tiny little fake champagne plastic bottles with the pull string on the bottom of it and pull the string and have 3 pieces of confetti fall on the floor.
Okay. Let's go for it. Tiny is not here. He decided to quit the show. And I recall him telling me on episode 2 that he was going to quit at 350. I didn't believe him, but now he's the fool. Me.
Oh, the best part is episode 2, he wasn't even a part of the show.
Exactly.
But he knew that he was going to quit before he ever joined.
Yep. That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Let's get serious now.
Yeah, let's get serious. We do have a guest this week. We have Elaine from These Here Internets. Welcome, Elaine.
Hi. And if you wanted serious, I was the wrong person to invite.
All right, serious time is over.
Sweet. I'm in. All right, let's do this.
We bought our ticket. We know what we're
yeah, I would hope that anybody who's read my Twitter feed knows what they're in for. Sorry in advance. I'll try to behave. Like a little bit.
Oh, okay.
A smidge. That's all I can promise.
That's something. We'll take it. So for those who do not know you, Elaine, why don't you just describe yourself? Like, who you are, what you're about,
man,
your favorite movies. Do you like sepia, pictures, that kind of stuff?
No filters. No, don't put the filters on the pictures. Boy, I've been doing this here internet thing for a while. Let's see. I'll give you the vital stats. I'm 35. I'm married. I have 2 small children who are slightly feral, and that's why I love them.
So slightly.
My 6-year-old daughter, I mean, she's actually quite terrifying. She's 45 pounds of terror, which is all my own fault because she inherited my entire personality. So karma's a real bitch. That's all I have to say about that. I've been playing video games for a whole long time. I do a lot of that. I've done some podcasting in the past with a bunch of different places. I think most people would maybe remember me most from Some Other Castle. I think those are the vital stats. Favorite movies, though, I don't know. I like Ghostbusters a lot. And when I was a little kid, I wore out 2 VHS tapes of Mary Poppins. Like, they no longer played because I watched that movie a lot. And so for Christmas, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, my mother bought me the DVD. So
watch it again.
And now I've watched that like 4,000 times.
So how do you feel about the remakes coming out?
I don't know. I don't really like the. I'm not a huge fan of the remakes. I guess I'm an old lady shaking my cane at the damn kids these days having to remake everything. I know.
I'm not judging.
Like, I feel like you can't. I don't. I'm not going to like it as much as the original because nostalgia. Well, that's how this works.
It's supposed to be like a direct sequel.
All right, that's fine.
Wait. We're not talking about Ghostbusters. We're talking about
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins with Emily Blunt. It's supposed to be.
Okay. All right, this is news to me.
Hold up, I love her though.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
She's rad. There's very few people who can pull off a really obnoxious secretary character in Devil Wears Prada and a rad badass lady in A Quiet Place in one career.
What was the other movie she did with Tom Cruise where time kept going on and on?
I forget.
Wait, was that Vanilla Sky?
No, it wasn't. No. Definitely wasn't.
That was
the other weird. That's a good question.
I don't know. Anyway,
well, they should combine. It was a movie where like Tom Cruise kept dying over and over again, so he could figure out how to like stop the alien thing.
Live, die, repeat.
Yeah, they should blend Mary Poppins with that.
Yeah. Now I can.
All right, I'm on board. Okay, that's a hell of an iteration on Chim Chimney, though. Jeez, how does that song go?
Who are they going to get to do like a really bad English accent?
Oh,
that's what's important.
Yeah, I got this. No, I don't. I can't even somehow every time I try to do an English accent, it morphs into a Scottish one. So I'm no longer allowed to do that. Don't it? Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. So yeah, that's me. Video games and nonsense movies. That's all I got. And children.
Yeah, there's
those kids.
At least 2/3 of life, anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, those kids keep me pretty busy. They're not here this week, my children.
You sent them out into the woods, the feral side?
No, actually, quite literally, they're out in the woods. Like, they're doing like a sleepaway thing, and like I miss them. Please don't get me wrong, but the silence is so good.
Yeah, I'll have some of that the week after next because the 8 and 12-year-old are going to my parents, and then we'll just be here with the 18-year-old. But we're packing her up to go back to school for a sophomore year. So, but yeah.
And she basically never speaks to you anyway because that's what they do.
No.
So,
no,
you have okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, yeah, she's pretty good. I mean, they're all good, But, yeah. She had her moments. That's for sure.
They're all good, but it's about right. Yeah.
No, but I understand the quiet of like, they're gone. Oh. Yes, but it's like I miss them, but. Yeah.
But also, but you see, normally when your children are in the house and it's quiet, you're concerned because something's probably on fire or someone is dead, right? Like if my kids are in the house and it's so quiet that I don't know where they are, I am worried.
You know what the problem is? The tablets. Like, you could hear a pin drop too often because they both have tablets.
So mine both do, but they play Minecraft together. So there's actually quite a bit of screaming. Like loud, high-pitched little kids screaming about zombies is hilarious. Unless you have a migraine and need them to stop.
Oh.
So, yeah. But I do miss them. But I like the quiet a lot.
Awesome.
It's so good.
I just keep thinking of the Camp Krusty episode now.
Oh boy.
That's pretty
Not
accurate.
the boy. Not the boy.
It's been a long time since
The
I thought
hair
about
falls
that.
out, the gut just
Just
Oh
kaboom.
God. Very good.
that was definitely good stuff.
What happened?
Hold on one second.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Did we break it?
Something broke.
I didn't do it.
I
probably did it.
I'm sitting, I'm staring.
I'm
Sorry
not,
about that.
I'm not touching any buttons.
All good.
I touched all the buttons. And
No,
it
no.
just-
You're not supposed to do that.
It's too
I
late.
don't. The rockets will be launching in 5 seconds.
Well, make that 3.
Oh crap! Not again.
If you can see the back of your own knee, something has gone wrong.
God. Oh boy.
Mike, what have you been up to?
So still trying to get the old house prepped and ready for sale. It took basically all of the last weekend. As I was sitting here before the show going, what did I do last weekend? I don't remember. I can't. Oh, right. I spent the entire weekend cleaning and so on and so forth. So, yeah, it was productive, but as far as like memorable anything, it was a lost couple of days. But we're well on our way. I got to fill out some paperwork and yada, yada, yada. So we'll see. But my wife had been clamoring, I guess. I think because every time we turn on the cable box, it'd be like, hey, you wanna rent something? Like Comcast is way more ad riddled than our previous cable company, cable provider was. So most of what they have is like an opportunity to buy something.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
Yep. They kept putting up their Quiet Place, and I was like, And she's like, I really want to see that movie. And I'm thinking, well, we're definitely not renting it from Comcast. That's a bad idea. But I had a bunch of credit from, digital credit from buying stuff through Amazon. Like, hey, don't ship it to me immediately, and we'll give you $1. Okay, great. Save that stuff up. So it was almost free. And finally got around to watching it last night. And I remember the last scene that I remembered being awake for.
I knew this is where this is going.
A bridge and a little space shuttle toy.
That's the beginning
That's
of
like
the film.
first 10 minutes, man.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
there's a second scene with that.
Yeah, the final scene with the toy that I can recall anyway. Unless there was another scene, and then I don't know. But anyway, then I remember waking up to my wife talking out loud to the movie about what was happening, at which point I awoke and said, is the movie over? And she said, it seems like it's almost there.
How do you fall asleep? I can't talk. I fall asleep on anything.
I mean, for one, there's almost no sound in the whole movie, so it's really easy.
I guess if you're the type of person who has... I've never fallen asleep during a film. I've walked out on exactly one film, but I've never... Well, you're a guy. I feel like that just happens to you guys. I don't understand.
I take that with no offense.
On that one, yeah. My husband has fallen asleep during at least 50% of the movies we've watched at home. He made it all the way through A Quiet Place.
In the theater, I'm not. Well, I fall asleep in the theater, but as of late, no.
Not recently. Yeah, I haven't fallen asleep recently. I work with somebody who said they tried to watch A Quiet Place, and the exact same thing happened to them. And I'm like, I was stressed the hell out.
Especially like when that inanimate object that is oddly placed seems to cause people so many problems.
I was really stressed out in that. Yes, God, yeah.
And
There was a
also,
lot of me.
I told my wife, I was like, that object that is oddly placed, why is it even there?
I know.
Like, but
I probably should like try to watch the
You
middle
should.
or like 80% of the movie again. But it's also really short. It's only like an hour and a half.
I will argue that all good horror films are about an hour and a half because
Oh, really?
I do not think personally the tension can hang in the air for longer than that without a resolution. You know what I mean? Like, and if it's a gimmick like, you know, Friday the 13th or something, there's only so many teens to murder. So you've got about an hour and a half, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
The good ones.
You
they're all
can't
about.
you can't jump scare for like 45 straight minutes. It's like,
No, it's very
you can
stressful.
kill 'em or
You'll
don't.
kill me. I'm old. Like,
I have fallen and clearly I can't get up. So what am I-
yeah. Well, clearly you've fallen asleep halfway through the film. So, yeah. I liked A Quiet Place. I thought that was a good movie.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I was
Really?
kind of upset that there's going to be a sequel, but I wasn't surprised because it made a bunch of
Wait.
money. But don't make a sequel to that thing.
Yeah, I didn't like the very last bit. Like, just give me the resolution and let's move on. Yeah, I don't want a sequel.
I mean, maybe it certainly didn't help that I basically didn't see the movie, and then I saw the very end, and I was like,
oh man, like you
I
gotta go
don't
back and
I don't
watch
get it.
What are you doing?
you need to go back and watch
You need
that
to go
movie.
back and watch it. It's worth it. Trust me.
I think so too.
But I did turn credits start rolling, and I turned to my wife and
Emily
I said,
Blunt.
"You like it?" And she was like, "Eh."
That's fair.
She takes that umbrella and just starts beating the crap out of all those aliens, and then she flies away, and it's weird.
It's actually Mary Poppins. Okay.
Yeah, it's a crossover film. It's
It's a crossover film.
It was Sherry Bobbins.
the whole time.
To Emily Blunt and all the actors, and that's great credit. It's really hard to act in a movie that's mostly silent and not
believe
overdo
that.
it. So I give them a lot of credit for that.
And learning sign language, like I think sign language is fascinating.
That was really cool to see. That was awesome.
I don't know. I mean, can I just ask, is a yes or no question?
No,
Did they explain anything?
No, not really. Like the
Okay.
things you want to know, no.
Yeah,
I don't think they did.
Yeah, maybe I don't need to watch it then, because that was all I cared about.
That doesn't take. I mean, part of me feels like if they would have explained it, it would have made the movie too long, and then I wouldn't have liked it as much. It's okay.
Well, as I mentioned about something else not too long ago on this show before, it's like if you start giving details about stuff, inevitably, when it's all nonsense, it falls apart. Like don't pull that string. You can't. But,
I think
but
they
when
can.
you set it up to be like, what? Like we need a little something to be like just a starting point. What was the spark? You know?
They are going to save that for a prequel movie.
but then they're going to explain. It's going to be
correct.
I don't want
They're
them to do
going
that,
to do the
though.
Cloverfield thing where they over-explain it. Yes,
Yeah.
that's going to happen. I will predict.
they're
that
going to have a scene like in Matrix 2 with the architect that just talks for like 30 minutes straight and be like, what?
No,
What?
they're gonna have a chase scene that lasts 19 minutes down a highway
Yes.
where the person they're trying to rescue dies at the end of it anyway. So it's like,
or
why
down
are we here?
down a runway, an airport runway that cannot possibly be that long by science, a la Fast and the Furious.
Yes, that wasn't the whole
circle.
runway.
That was the longest freaking. How long does this plane go before it takes off? I
Gal
remember my
Gadot
husband
died
going,
like halfway through, and they were still
Yeah.
going. I'm like, okay.
My husband goes, look, I am not a scientist, and I realize and this stuff doesn't usually bother me, but how long have they been taxiing on this runway? Like, look,
I mean, is it any more ridiculous than I forgot? Was it Tyrese in one of the Fast Food when he redirected a nuclear missile with his hands or something like? We turn it.
those
this way.
movies are really stupid in exactly the right way.
They are.
A Quiet Place will get a prequel that will be really stupid in exactly the wrong way, just like Cloverfield kind of did. It was not good. It was not good.
I never saw Cloverfield, and I never saw any of the
I
real
have
sequel
seen-
and then the pseudo sequel they slapped the name on.
Yeah, well, the pseudo sequel was a direct to Netflix joint that was actually a prequel.
Oh, it was a prequel. Okay.
Yeah, and it did the thing where it over-explained everything too much to me. So, I'm with you. I would like a quiet place just to sit on its own and be this mysterious thing and just move on. But
and
that's not
almost nothing gets that anymore.
No.
Right.
Unless it's a failure, and then it can just die in a hole and be fine.
That's not going to happen this time. So
apparently not.
Unless you all give her support. Thanks a lot. Should have bootlegged it like I told you.
Damn. But yeah, you got to watch that cell phone cam video of it. There's no sound anyway. Doesn't matter.
There you go. But yeah, it's almost like all of what I've been doing as far as like anything worth mentioning. So yeah. If Tiny was here, he could talk, but he's not. So, Aaron,
nobody can see the outline but us. But okay,
you saw Equalizer 2?
Saw it Friday night. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first one. I did watch the TV show back in the day. Of course, it's like the TV show only in that, hey, there's a guy who wants to solve people's problems. Hey, what's going on, Pat? Welcome to the chat. And yes, it is amazing that you are here. Good to see the words that you've typed in. I was going to say you, but I can't see you. Also, sorry, no camera. You can't see us either, but that, one of those things. Anyway, Equalizer 2. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's one of these movies where like Denzel's pretty much like invincible. Like no one is even like really touching him, like barely. And he'll just kill like 5 or 6 people, and just walk away, and it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, those movies are fun once in a while. If every movie was like that, it would
it would
boring,
not be fun.
But
it would not be fun. No, I enjoyed this one. Gave a lot more backstory too, so they tried to show you a little bit more about like who he was. So I appreciated that. So he's still a mystery, but not quite as much. But I definitely enjoyed that. And then on Sunday, I took the oldest to go see Skyscraper with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Sold.
It was. It was entertaining nonsense. Apparently, it bombed.
Not surprised at all.
It cost a lot of money to make.
Oh no!
And didn't really do very well. It was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Didn't that happen with one of his other films? The one about the disaster. Yes, that's the one.
I thought that made a lot of money.
Did it?
I think so.
The ending of that movie made me like ridiculously angry.
Oh, I never saw it, but now that you say that, I got to see it.
It's just this last scene with this stupid American flag. I can't. It was so cheesy. I was like, really, we're doing this? We can't do this.
Do we have to? Oh, it's filmed? Okay. All right.
Oh, we have to. Oh, we're
in
doing
the theater
this
already. I should stop talking. Okay.
Was Skyscraper another one of those films where you're like, did we really have to do this? Or was it fun?
It was fun. And I'll be honest, like the MacGuffin was better. I saw someone on Twitter, actually, was Cicero from Spawn on Me. I think he was going off about the MacGuffin in the movie. So I'm thinking it's going to be like the dumbest thing ever. And then when I saw it, I was like, that's not that bad of a MacGuffin. Like, it was, it was all right. The basic plot is this guy is building like the tallest building in China. And, well, he's built it. And he has to have somebody come in and assess it in order to get insurance on it. And then that's The Rock's role, is to come in and do a security assessment on it, sign something, and then he'll be able to get the building insured because it's the most expensive building or whatever in the world, blah, blah, blah. And, of course, that's when the bad guys come in and set everything on fire in attempts to get the MacGuffin. And then, of course, The Rock's family is in there. He's out of the building, then back in. And it doesn't waste time. It's like an hour and like 40 minutes. So it doesn't. Like, when you see a character go, they might be shady. Like, they're shady in, like, 5 minutes. Like, it's not even, they don't even play with it. Like, I wonder, like, no, this person is shady. So, but it was all right. I enjoyed it. GameEnthus says, I love The Rock. I don't understand how he's the highest paid actor in Hollywood. Yeah, apparently in 2017, he was the highest paid actor. That's crazy to me. But he did have a lot of movies, though.
Yeah, he did. There have been a lot of films, yes.
And that Jumanji thing made buckets of money.
Like it was hilarious. I
need to see it.
It was good. You should see it. And I don't say that lightly. It was a really fun film. I was actually impressed. My kids thought it was hilarious. I agree. So
I need to check it out because
you should watch that.
But then what was the movie he just did? Oh, Rampage didn't really do that well. But I thought Rampage was entertaining. It was Rampage.
I don't understand how that thing got greenlit. How did that happen?
I mean, it was
2018.
like,
Who
it's
knows what
not-
Rampage is
It's
anymore?
not a good movie. I mean, I saw it with Movie Pass. It wasn't like I spent actual money, but I mean, as a Movie Pass, hey, I have a couple of hours to kill.
Sure.
It was great. It was just dumb. But anyway, back to Skyscraper. It was dumb as well, but it was fun. So, what else? Did you all see the trailers? Because San Diego Comic-Con was this past weekend. So trailers for Aquaman, Shazam, and Godzilla came out. Anybody see those?
I'm kind of into all three of them. I watched them.
I watched the Shazam one.
That seems all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never been one of my favorite characters, but it's fine. So,
But it takes place in the same universe as all the other stuff, right?
And seemed
Didn't they
way
show a
more
newspaper?
lighthearted than all the other stuff.
I think they finally got the memo that nobody wants grimdark every character.
Yeah.
Like, just Batman, please.
Well,
just Batman, please.
it can work if they make it good. They've just been making a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, they have kind of been making.
Mike, I said it before. I'm going to say it again. I enjoyed Man of Steel. I don't care what you say.
I thought, I don't like Superman as a character, so I actually won't inject my opinion in that at all.
Oh, please do.
Superman is a boring character
That's true.
because he's a Boy Scout. The most interesting thing anybody's ever done with Superman was the fighting games that were made for our lovely consoles. Like, that was an interesting Superman. So Henry Cavill's just such a Boy Scout Superman. It's boring. I'm sorry. I can't. I did like Wonder Woman, though. That was a good character. That was the only good thing they've done, probably in the past
That was the
5
best
years.
thing. I mean,
Right.
Yeah,
And that was also, I mean, it had lighthearted moments, but
There was
overall,
funny in the middle. Yeah.
yeah, I would still consider it more of a serious movie than a jokey movie.
Yeah.
No, but Aquaman looked kind of okay. Man.
I'm on board with this, but that's just because I like him.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, come on. Like, yeah, I'm into it. So whatever. I'm willing to entertain whatever. I watched Justice League with my husband recently.
Justice League was watchable. It was all right.
It was a movie. Yes.
They
It was not
filmed
a, They made a film.
People
They wrote some
in there
stuff.
drink water and respirate after they eat. I mean, it's whatever.
There was a plot? Question mark? What a stupid villain choice, though. Like, DC.
Steppenwolf, yeah.
Oh, come on. So that's why my like reservations about any DC film is like, really, you don't have a lot of back catalog to convince me this is going to be good. So the trailers look cool for both Shazam and Aquaman, but I don't know. I have reservations. We'll see.
As Movie Pass is still around, they're gonna get my money. If it's not, they're probably still gonna get my money in some way. So yeah.
Yeah.
Godzilla. I wish Tiny was here because we go back and forth about this. I'd like the other Godzilla more than the first Pacific Rim. He thinks I'm crazy for that because he didn't care for the human story at all. I did. I thought it was all right.
I don't. Yeah. Boy, I like Pacific Rim better, I think. But
Okay. Did you see the
I
sequel?
don't know. No, I haven't seen it. Is it worth watching? I was kind of one and done on that. I was like, okay, cool. I've seen, robots
it's like
fighting
Power
kaiju.
Rangers. I mean, basically, is like what Power Rangers probably should have been.
You've
even
sold
though
me
that
now.
was okay too.
Damn it. Yeah, that was pretty okay as far as, yeah.
I mean, Tiny adores the first one, and I
It was
thought his
okay.
comments about the sequel were kind of lukewarm.
He wasn't really feeling it. It was, to me, the sequel knew it was dumb and just kind of just wrapped itself around dumbness and embraced it. Oh, okay, cool.
That can work,
Yeah,
but
it
not.
can work, but I don't know if it doesn't. If in the end result the movie is not fun, then
Yes,
it
I
was
agree.
definitely
Then
fun. It was
whatever.
ridiculous, but it was definitely fun, and it
Oh,
goes
all
to
right,
places
well,
that you might
yeah,
not.
might
I
have
mean
to
I didn't
watch
see it, so I don't know.
It's
I-
watchable.
The trailers did nothing for me.
That's fair.
Gotcha.
That's fair.
I can see
I feel
that.
the same about Jurassic World, whatever it's called, Part 2.
Yeah, that was.
That does not, like the trailers did, like they showed me nothing interesting. That
Look,
that looks really dumb.
I saw that trailer, and instead of seeing that film, I watched the first Jurassic Park again. And guess what? That
That's
movie still holds up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So that's what you should do there. My kids saw the newest one with our nanny, and I asked them how it was, and my son looks at me and goes, there were dinosaurs, and then he walks upstairs. I'm like, you're 8. That's a little bit of snark for you.
Hey, that's actually the plot of the original Jurassic World.
Yeah.
That kids are bored with dinosaurs,
Right.
so they have to put machine guns on their shoulders.
That's the normal evolution of dinosaurs.
I'm told they evolved from birds, and then they evolved into fighter jets. What? This is wrong? How is this wrong?
This
I've
is
been
not
lied to.
wrong.
Give him a active camo vest.
That would actually be awesome if a Tyrannosaurus Rex had active camo. Like,
that
just
was
knocking over buildings by accident.
kind of literally what happened in the first Jurassic World.
I should probably see that film.
Except for the accidental knocking over of things, but yeah.
Oh, now I'm disappointed.
It was,
They were
It's a dumb
weaponizing
movie.
they were weaponizing the dinosaurs, right?
They
like-
always do. I mean,
Right, got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. They're like, it won't scare the kids unless we give them like machine gun fingers or something. Like, huh?
I have a lot of questions. We don't have enough time.
Like this
So
is
I'm gonna let
this
that
is
go.
literally supposedly the like most deadly walking thing the planet has ever seen, but it's not scary enough.
Jazz hands.
GameEnthus stopped giving them ideas. Well, he
Yeah,
just
it's
said
really-
Kubert the movie starring The Rock, so I don't know that. That's a pretty
Wait,
bad
wait, I'm on board. Wait, give me the elevator pitch. I want to hear this.
I never saw the Adam Sandler movie Pixel. I never saw that.
yeah.
I
That
thought I
was
was
not a
going
good.
to.
That was not a good film.
I
Don't see
never
that
watched
film.
it. I just went, nope, no, I can't
Yeah,
do it.
it's not. That was no.
It's on one of those like basic cable networks
No.
all the time.
Yeah, it's vomited itself out onto everything at this point. Look, I've seen a lot of bad video game adjacent films. That's way up there on the list of the worst.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. You don't need to see that one.
All right, what else? I think the producers and creators or writers of Avatar and Korra have a new show coming out called The Dragon Prince in September. Looks kind of
Is it
interesting.
related?
No, and I told my
Okay.
kids that. They were like, "Well, is it like a continuation?" I was like, "No." They were like, "Oh." I said, "We can still watch an episode. It'll be on Netflix. Watch whatever we want."
Nah, just burn it to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, screw
That's-
those. I'm willing to. I mean, they have a pedigree. I'm willing to give it a chance.
Exactly.
Sure.
Thank you, Elaine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the whole
I
point.
still have to watch season 4 of Korra.
How have you
I
not
bought
seen
it like
this?
I bought it like 3 years ago, and then I never watched it.
Did you fall asleep during it? And then
I took the shrink wrap off of the Blu-ray, and then I put it on the shelf and never.
You took the
did
shrink wrap
anything
off,
with it.
shoved it in your nostrils.
this is
passed
the
out.
story of my entire life. I took the shrink wrap off of it. It's mine now, and then never touch it again. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
money-
intended to watch it. I
Money
just
spent.
I don't know. Never did.
We believe you. The Smithsonian the Smithsonian American Art Museum? One of them we went to on Sunday. They have this thing called the Sam Arcade where they bring in like indie devs and have arcade. They had a lot of arcade games this year, but last year they had a lot of indie devs and things like that. And they have card games and tabletop games and stuff. And I took the littles there on Sunday. We had a really good time. We were there for like 4.5, 5 hours. Like we played and played everything pretty much. Like
that's awesome.
it was great. And I saw the Simpsons bowling arcade game. I've never even heard of that before.
Is it a wait? Is it a 4-person cabinet?
No,
Like,
it's
what
just
is it?
one. It's just
Okay.
one and it has a trackball.
Oh man, I want to play that.
And it came out
That's
in 2000, apparently. I never heard of it.
Where was I? I was 17. I didn't care about any of that stuff. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, that's after arcades had kind of died in this country. They were pretty
Yeah.
good and dead there.
Yeah,
the
so
early
I wonder
2000s.
even how they like bothered to get the funding to make it, honestly, because it's like, who's going to play this? No one? Okay, let's keep working on it. So, it seemed interesting. And then there was a couple of games were like out already. This game called Red Hot Ricochet, which is like, think about like combat for Atari. Not that primitive, but like sort of top down. I think you have like 6 people playing. The guy had 6 Joy-Con there, and you can shoot like a little circle with like a little like tank gun hanging out, and your bullets ricochet, and you have to shoot to kill your enemies, shoot your friends to heal them, and then shoot items to collect them. So you just shoot everything in order to like progress. It was pretty fun. And the guy said, "Oh, it's out already." I was like, "Oh, I hadn't heard." He's like, "Well, I'm not really good at marketing, but it's out." I was like, "Okay, cool." So
It was a complete failure, but you can buy it.
You can buy it if you want to. I said, okay, cool. So yeah, the girls seemed to like it. So yeah, and this thing was out. There was a developer, I forgot the name. They had a thing called the Octopad. So I don't know if you heard of this. They had the original Super Mario Brothers running, and the Octopad is basically taking one of the 8 inputs of the NES and attaching it to one controller. So each controller had, a D-pad up, down, left, right, start, select, and then A and B. So if you were up, pretty much left, select and start, you kind of really didn't do anything. But if you were right, down, or whatever, like, you did a lot. And it was playing Mario Brothers with 8 different people having to play in tandem using one button each. It was insane, but it was fun. I don't know if
it sounds amusing for a short time.
Yeah, and I kept wondering, like, can you? I don't know, like, this is cool, but I don't know if you can, like, monetize this or not, because I don't know. I don't think they're worried about that, but I just was thinking, like, okay, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm just picturing somebody trying to hit the blocks correctly to get to the warp zone to get to 4, like in 4-2 up to the next one. It's like, dude, the way you have to, like, jump and duck, and that part alone would cause, like, a fist fight.
Luckily, there weren't any. I had the up D-pad, so I was kind of just sitting there like, what else? They had Out of This World running on pretty old PC, and people kept and they had all these PC. They had, they had a Vectrex there, and they had
what?
Yeah, they had like an Apple II running like Oregon Trail. I mean, they had a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm sitting there playing Out of This World, and there's a guy sitting there. I was probably being that guy. I'm trying to tell him what to do. I'm like, oh, you have to, swim out of the little lake thingy, kick the slugs. But the guy just got frustrated and left. So I sit down and I'll start playing it. And I messed up a couple times. But I know what to do. I've beaten Out of This World probably like 50 times. So, I run to the right, then run back to the left, swing around on the vine, all that good stuff. And then it asked for another disc once I got shot and captured. So I flagged somebody down behind the table because MagFest was running all this stuff, I believe. Yeah, it was MagFest.
Oh, okay.
I think it was part of like the, how they have that video game history exhibit thing they always have?
Yeah. It's always cool.
Yeah, some stuff out of there. So I flagged the guy down. I said, hey, I need another disc. He looked at me like I had 3 heads. I guess no one had gotten that far out of this world.
The point of this was not to complete the game, just to have somebody look at it.
I guess.
Somebody look at it and get frustrated.
He looked really annoyed, like, you really want disc 2? I'm like, well, it says put a disc 2, so.
I want to play Out of This World, dude. Like, what?
I'm like, come on.
What are we doing here?
He gave you a look that said, I would have rather you just got frustrated, punched the keyboard, and I had to throw you out.
Yes.
I think that's honestly what he would have wanted me to do.
Yes, that's way faster and less irritating for some folks. Yeah.
So, but it happened. So, and the last thing I'll mention is there's this game called 4 Last Things by this guy named Joe Richardson. A lot of developers were from like Switzerland, Sweden, the UK. A lot of people who plan their like vacations in the US around like this event. Like I spent a week in New York and a week in California, and then we stopped here in DC, and then we're going to go back to wherever. So, but it's a point and click adventure game where the premise is, it has like a lot. I can't think of like the artist. Of course I mentioned like Monty Python because the art reminded me of Monty Python stuff. But basically the premise is this guy, he goes to like confess his sins in a church, and he tells them where he committed these things, and they're like, oh well, that's out of this parish, so you have to recommit these sins, and then we can forgive you for them. So the whole premise of the game is he has to go and like do these things again, but do them locally, and then he can be absolved for them.
That is definitely not how that works.
I know, but that was the premise. So my 12-year-old is playing this game, and I'm not even like thinking about it. So she's like all excited because like she got the first one, and it was something. It wasn't like offensive or anything. She did the first one, and she's having a great time. And we had to keep moving on. So I go home, And then it's available on Steam and iOS and Android. So I order it, and then I explained it to my wife. She's like, "Is that really appropriate?" And I was like, "Normally I would ask myself that, but I didn't think about it because I guess I assumed. I mean, I'm at an event for like kids, like anybody. So I'm thinking, why would you have like an offense, like a game that has stuff that's not for kids at this event?" I'll look it up. It's like MA-17.
Whoa!
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
That's a rating system that Sega used back in the 90s.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's what it said on Google Play. So I sent the guy a DM. I was like, "Yeah, you didn't mention that this game was like rated mature." He was like, "Oh yeah, like, different countries, different territories is rated differently, but I guess here it is 17." And I asked him, I never got an answer. How did you get approved for the show? But he never really gave me an answer. So I told her, I was like, "Yeah, you can't really play this game." So, but I got her Grim Fandango remastered instead, so she was happy.
Good choice. Good choice. So
she was cool, but I was just like, that. It just seemed like normally I would ask myself that, but I guess I just took off my dad hat for a second, my overprotective dad hat, because I'm at a family event. Like, why would you have a mature rated game? So, go figure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I blame Tiny.
Nice.
All right, Elaine, what have you been playing as of late?
All right, so look, it's apparently I've been transported back a couple of years. So I bought a new computer about a month ago now, I guess. This is the first new PC I bought, like in 5 or 6 years, something like that. And I'm like, all right, which game should I load on this thing to see what it can do? I know, I'll install The Witcher 3. I'll put everything on Ultra. I'll play for like an hour. We'll be done. 41 hours later, I want to make a note that I have finished this game on the PlayStation 4. And now I'm like, well, I guess we're doing this again. But when I played this game the first time, I guess it was 2016? Is that right? 2016?
That sounds about right.
I got like really invested in the story and I wanted to see where it went. So I kind of ducked and dodged around some of the side stuff that I just didn't want to do. And now I'm like, I'm going to do everything because this is my life now. I live here. I live in Novigrad. This is it. And some of that side stuff is really good. It's at least as good, if not better, than the main story writing. So I'm having a really good time with that game. There are so many games out right now, right, to play. And I'm like, nope. We're going to witch. I got to go witch. I got witching to do, as I believe what I said to my son last weekend before they left. My 8-year-old comes downstairs. Mom, are you witching? Yeah, I'm witching. Is the quest you're doing appropriate? Mom, is it monsters or people? It's monsters. All right. Can I hang out? Yeah, it's just monsters. If I cut his head off, don't worry about it. It's cool. My 8-year-old is very practical. Like, Mom, this is just a video game, right? Ugh. Like, Mom, stop. There were a couple quests where I'm like, you have to go to bed now because the ladies need me. I need you to go. So you need to. The ladies. But Mom, I am not explaining to you about the stuffed unicorn child. You need to go upstairs. So, So I've been playing a whole lot of that. It's still really good. And it runs really nicely on PC, it turns out.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. It's almost like it's better to play games on computers sometimes. I don't know. If you're willing to tolerate the level of technical annoyance that sometimes come with that. So, what else have I been playing? Hollow Knight came out on Switch relatively recently. It's a game I played on PC. We'll use the word Metroidvania, even though I really hate that word.
But it's such an apt description.
It is a very apt description. This one is like if Castlevania and Super Metroid hung out with Dark Souls a little too long. Just a little. And
I don't know if I want that.
They got right, and they got kind of messed up in the process because it's got a lot of like that hidden lore stuff that goes on in Dark Souls where you're kind of piecing together what happened in this world before you were injected into it. And then there's got the Metroidvania acquire new skills to go new directions, right? I really like that game. I loved it on PC. It's excellent on Switch. Team Cherry has done a delightful job adding content to that thing over the course of its development. I highly recommend it if you like those types of games. That thing is great.
What if you purchased it on Steam a long time ago and then never played it?
What if I have it on Steam?
Did you take the cellophane off of it? You should probably play it.
I don't know how to do that with a Steam like digital.
Well, not with that attitude.
I'll send you a Wikipedia article. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just don't dump the alcohol directly into the computer. It's near it. You should probably play that game. I'm joking. You should probably play that game. It's good on. It's a bit updated fully on PC as well. Like it's great on PC. I played it on Switch because I can lay in my bed and play it, and my children haven't been home, so I haven't had to get out of bed. So,
and it sounds like you're also saying that it's good that I waited because it's a better game now than it would have been. It is a better game
now. They've added a ton. I think they're even pushing out another update in like a month too. They keep adding content to that thing, and it's a better game than when it first launched. I would make an argument. There's a ton more stuff in it. It's a dense game. It's very, very good. It's hard. Fair warning, or at least it can be.
Yeah, I heard that. That made me not want to like play it.
It doesn't feel unfair. It does not feel unfair. It is a little challenging, but it doesn't feel unfairly difficult. At least to me, I don't know. But like the controls are so tight, you kind of forget about the fact that it's difficult, and you're just like, well, I just clearly need to get better at this.
Is like just the combat in and of itself is just difficult. Like
yes, it requires a patience from you that you do not immediately associate with one of those games. That's what it is. That's why I say it's got a little bit of the Dark Souls in it. Like it wants you to deliberately attack things, not just mash on the button until the thing dies. And that is for some people good, and for some people they just don't want that in those type of games. I like it. It makes me feel like I'm a little more engaged, I guess. Because I've played so many Metroidvanias, you know?
There's one that no one talked about on Switch called A Robot Named Fight.
I've heard about that one, and I keep meaning to check it out. There's also The Mummy Demastered, which I believe came out last year, which is
I claim that I beat that because I played it for review, and I got to like the end boss. I got to the room with the last boss,
and just wasn't happening.
And it just wasn't happening. I was well, I can review this game. I've seen
you're done. You finished it. I want to play it. The soundtrack for that game is also really good, really, really good. Yeah. And then I have one. Because apparently it's, a decade ago. I'm replaying Luminace. I bought Luminace Remastered.
I'm sorry. Could you say the name again?
Luminace, not Lumens.
That's the pronunciation I've never heard. So that's.
I think it's the actual correct. I don't know.
It might be. I don't know.
That's the way I've always said it.
I've heard Lumines, Luminez.
It's Luminace.
Okay.
I bought it on Switch. Okay, this is where the story gets stupid. I bought it on Switch, and playing it on Switch docked, it runs kind of like crap. Like it really does. Like every time the skins switch, there's this like chug to it. Now it recently pulled an update, and I haven't tested it docked again to see if it fixed it. But so I bought it on PS4 because I'm like, no. I really liked the original Luminace on PSP. I probably played like dozens and dozens of hours of that game.
Are you good at it though? I'm not.
Yeah, I'm okay at it. I would call myself like a little above mediocre. When the original game was out, the highest you could score was 999,999, right? And then that would be your score forever. And I did that like 5 or 6 times, I think, across multiple playthroughs of that game. I think I got about 1 million points on this version because they kind of unlocked the score situation for you, and in Endless. It still holds up. It's still probably my favorite puzzle game maybe of all time. It's a toss up between that and maybe Tetris Attack because I really like that game.
It's up there, but like Picross 3D and like Meteos is good.
I like Luminace better than Meteos because Meteos is one of those games you can kind of cheese. You can kind of scrub the screen with your stylus and get yourself out of some reasonably bad situations. You can't.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a preference for how the blocks and the puzzles work, too. Both made by the same people, right? Meteos was also...
I believe you're right.
Why don't we have another Meteos?
You can still buy Meteos Wars for the 360, and I keep hoping that it's backward compatible. It's still for sale, which means somebody has the right. So it's like, make it backward compatible.
I actually still have my 360 hooked up. Watch me go in and buy that.
But I never want to actually play because I turned it on a while ago, and it's so slow.
I know, it's true. That dashboard is a nightmare.
Oh, I did want to mention to you, GameEnthus said in the chat, he said, I wait to have you on the show more often. He says, I like her sense of humor. So.
Oh, hey, that's so nice. Yeah, Luminace is one of those games I think I could probably always be playing. Like, it's funny, when Remastered was announced, I actually had to go down to Orlando for a day trip from up here in Philly, and I just grabbed my PSP. I'm like, hope you still boot. I brought it with me and played Luminace in the airport in Orlando while I was waiting for a meeting.
You had a day trip to Orlando?
Dude, I got on a plane at 5 o'clock in the morning. I had a 2-hour meeting with a bunch of vendors, and then I got back on a plane a few hours later. Let me tell you about the weirdest experience of my life is walking on a plane with nothing but my cell phone and my wallet.
And a PSP.
And a PSP. I don't want to talk about it. It's very weird, though, to not have a bag and
That
be
is
going
weird.
to. It was weird.
Did you have like a phone charger or anything, or just you just?
I keep a bag. Yeah, I had a cord with me.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have all those charge stations now in all the airports.
True.
So, but like, it's just like, what if I get stranded here? I have no underpants. I mean, I have the ones I'm wearing, but like, I have no extra underpants.
You know what? You could always trade your PSP for maybe a cool wet sack of underpants. I don't know.
Oh, no one wants wet, moist underpants. No one wants that. That's gross. If you want moist underpants, we have to have a conversation about dryers.
Trade your PSP for some bone dry.
Dude, can you imagine a scenario in which I walk into a back alley in the Orlando airport and I like open up my jacket and I'm like, I need some underpants. I got this PSP. Like,
they would call.
Do you know how many kids are in the Orlando airport? Like, I would be escorted out, never to return to the magical kingdom again.
Send everyone.
Magic Press turned you away.
All I have is this Luminace. Can I get some underwear? Like,
I mean, sir, we thought she had a Vita. Apparently, it actually is a PSP.
No, she wasn't joking. It's a PSP, and it's a 1000. What year is it? Yeah, it still works.
Is it a Go? I'm sorry, sir. It's not a Go. It's a 1000.
It's not. No, who bought that? Ma'am, because you couldn't buy Luminace digitally. That's why I never bought the Go. Otherwise, I would have bought a Go if I could have done that. I want to Go, really.
But you just hack it now. But I do.
Wait, they never sold that game digitally?
No.
I thought they did.
That's crazy.
Because I would buy it for my Vita right now if I could.
Really?
Good point.
And Luminace 2 as well. So I own those stupid PSP mini disc looking cartridges for those.
I really thought that they put that.
Games.
That's shocking to me.
Those and like the first Metal Gear Acid game, maybe both. You can't buy digitally at all, I think.
Metal Gear is not a surprise. Yeah, I can see that one.
Look, I like Metal Gear Acid, but I understand. Okay,
I didn't get it, man. I just was like, can't I just get a regular Metal Gear game?
But those are weird too. So
yeah,
like, why not?
I didn't understand. Like, I don't want to choose cards and stuff. Like, what is this?
What is the? I bought. I'm just thinking. I'm trying to find it. The Vita Luminous game.
Oh, Electronic Symphony. Was the Vita one. I bought that one. Yep. I bought that one at launch because I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was like, well, I guess I'm playing Luminace in the hospital, waiting for this child to be born, because she took her sweet time. So that one was weird because it had the mechanic where you had to tap on the touchpad on the back of the Vita to do stuff. And so that's why that one doesn't work on the Vita TV, which breaks my heart.
I don't remember that. Yeah. Oh, wait. Like, it was like a thing you could do, but it wasn't like required.
It wasn't required, but it was a mechanic that would make your situation better or whatever. Yeah. And then there was a Luminace on PS2, and then they did 360 and PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those were okay.
Didn't one of them, like, they sold us like half a game?
Yeah, and then they sold you a bunch of packs, but then they apologized and gave people packs for free, I want to say. I think that was the 360 version.
That does sound familiar. Yes.
It was a hot mess. What I'm really saying is that the original Luminace is still the best one of the bunch.
I think most people agree with that.
I will have the unpopular opinion of saying I really like Luminace 2 because I thought the licensed music they did for it suited it well. But I know that I'm like in a very small minority on that.
Well, in Japan, the subtitle was Electric Boogaloo, so that's why I always liked
it. Yeah. There was some very good remixes on Luminace 2 that I liked a lot. So
can we call it Lose Minds from now on? Lose Minds? No? Okay.
I'm going to let that go. I'm just going to... That's all I've been playing. Basically, I've been reliving the 2 years ago or a decade ago, depending on which way you want to look at it. So
no, that's fine, man.
It's been good.
This is fun.
It's a blast. What about you guys? What are you guys playing?
So I had to get some work done on my car.
That's not a game. That's not fun.
Is that a euphemism or is it actually your car?
No, like literally, I was like, I got general maintenance, whatever. I'll go up and I'll wait and bring my Switch with me and play some Zelda.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. I sit here and play for a little bit, and I did. So that's why I bring it up now instead of earlier. And I don't know, about 45 minutes in or so, the guy says, "Hey, we noticed that your rear rotors kind of look like trash. Have you noticed like a terrible rumbling when you hit the brakes?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's been doing that for like a year."
Oh my god!
And he's like, "Yeah, we can change them out, and
everybody's car does that. That's normal. It's a feature."
No, that's not a feature. Oh,
yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And I said, "Wait, how long is that going to take?" And he said, "It's going to add about an hour and a half." And I was like, I got my Switch here. I'll knock out some shrines or whatever, and it's all good. So I got a good amount of time to sit and poke at Zelda some more. And turns out I still don't have enough hearts to get the Master Sword because I fell dead on the floor of the Lost Woods Korok Forest or whatever it's called. So I still need to do a little bit more before. I mean, I could just go to the castle and whatever, but I figure once I do that, I'm not going to go back. So I want to do everything I'm going to do before doing it. So it's still fun. I still enjoy just playing around, going like, hey, that looks weird. Oh, if I move this to here, I get another Korok seed or whatever. Like just finding random things.
I'm going to find all 900 because I'm crazy.
No. Those little jerky men laughing at me every time I find them. Don't you mock me.
Supposedly like poop, the seeds.
I want to know where you read that.
That's the first I'd heard, but
so I can blacklist that.
I believe it might have been one of those "Did you know" gaming videos. They were like, as a sort of a joke, it was actually feces or poop that people are discovering. That's the Korok seeds or whatever. So,
according to some random internet dude,
well, the "Did you know" gaming thing, which is that is random. I mean, I guess it's random.
I mean, it's not like Miyamoto says.
Would you be surprised though if Miyamoto was like, "Oh yeah, that's totally poop from the little forest monsters"?
Only if he admitted it. I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually true.
Right.
But I would be more surprised if he said it in an interview.
Look, here's the deal: you'll have to buy the 50-second Zelda encyclopedia that Amazon will sell you, and it'll be in there on like page 217.
Right.
I bought that.
It's there.
I got it for like
me too.
24.
I own them all.
It's pretty nice.
I own them all. It's really stupid. They're really big and very heavy.
They really are.
You could kill someone with those things.
That's like the new collection. Is like books of the stuff that you like. I kickstarted that Sega Master System book. I can't wait for that.
I bought the Witcher Compendium because Amazon. I think they're listening. I know they're listening. I saw a tweet that thing was on sale for Prime Day, and I'm like, do you know that I'm playing The Witcher again? Do you know? I mean, cool. I'm going to buy that. So,
if you're playing on the PC, I think something might have talked to something else.
This is why I always say thank you to the robots when I ask them for things, okay?
Thank you, Alexa. May I have another?
Yeah, exactly. Please don't kill me in my sleep. Like, Alexa, set a reminder.
I think I might have said her name, so I don't know if she says something. Sorry, I didn't mean anything.
I wasn't talking about you. I love you,
Alexa, for not killing me.
See? Please set a reminder to wake me up at 12:01 to make sure you're not attempting to murder me in my sleep. Okay.
Every sunrise is a miracle. Thank you very much.
Alexa, set a reminder of the nuclear apocalypse caused by the robots an hour before it starts. Thank you.
They're not going to use the nuclear stuff because they want to enslave us.
Right. They don't want you to see the missiles in the air.
They can't have us be dead. They need us alive, basically.
We're batteries. I remember this.
It's all coming back to the Matrix again. I can't do this.
So much promise and then so much crap.
Accurate.
So also, as I mentioned last week, I had picked up a copy of Rock Band 4 off of eBay because I thought that Microsoft wanted a little too much on the digital store, and it arrived in the mail. And sure enough, within the game, you can, just as Harold had mentioned last week, purchase the Rivals upgrade without buying the whole bundle. Which I did, although I don't know why, because I don't think I'll ever do anything that actually takes advantage of that. But I did have a little bit of entertainment value in seeing every time I would, and I can only sing the songs because all my plastic junk doesn't work on the Xbox One. So I would sing a song, and it would be like, "Hey, you aren't as good as H-Bomb," and I was like, "Oh, every time." No matter how good I think I know.
He plays a lot of Rock Band, my friend.
Yeah, but I was entertained when it said that I completely obliterated your score, Aaron, on, I think it was 2 Princes.
I didn't think you were going to be mentioning me. This will be stricken from the show. I don't know.
I assumed that maybe somebody else in your family attempted to sing it, but the score was so low that I figured that it must have been a fail after like 14 seconds or something.
I know that song, so I don't know what that's about. I
don't know. It was like 1,700, and I scored like 100,000 or something. So I was like, "Yeah, okay, hit the button to send a taunt. Let's see what happens." Because they have them built into the game. You just hit the thing, and it's just like, "Do you approve of our pre-written taunt to your friend? Haha, you're so terrible that..."
Did it say na 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 na?
I mean, it said something ridiculous like you smell like poop or something. Like I was like, I don't care, whatever is good by me.
Just taunt him, internet.
Yeah, whatever it is, encourage said person to beat my score. That's all that matters.
Video games are pretty stupid.
That's a little bit.
That's phenomenally dumb.
Except for the digital lady voices that control all of the things in my house. None of you are.
The robots are very smart.
Less than genius level.
The robots are very smart.
Right. Genius is everywhere. I don't know. They're definitely listening. Sorry. I know.
Oh, no, yeah, they're listening. Don't worry.
Yeah. And I guess real quick, I did look at Sea of Thieves briefly since some of these updates have come in the last like month and a half since I had actually played it before. And I'm confused. Like I don't like I need to sit down and play for like an entire day to like understand what's going on in that game now.
Really?
It's like people who don't like it will go, "Oh, there's nothing different. It's exactly the same." But the people who I played with before, who were like trying to explain to me all the new things that are happening and like what to look for, and I just go, "Dude, I will do whatever you're telling me, but I don't understand any of it yet."
Isn't that a good thing though that they added more content? Isn't that?
I mean, it's good that there's stuff, but I don't. Like, I need someone to explain everything. Like, there are statues on the floor of the ocean that you go up to and then start slapping. But if you do, you'll die. But if you get a whole bunch of your friends to do it all at the same time, you'll smash it to bits and steal the goodies inside. Like, why would I know how to do that without somebody just telling me? And it doesn't even seem like all that big of a deal, but it's like, this is like the thing that's currently going on or most recently did. And then there's all these giant sharks all over the place now, and skeletons running around with like explosive barrels, like the headless jerks in Serious Sam or whatever. Like I don't know. Like I almost missed while I was playing it the days of like just yelling, "Where is the stupid chicken?" I don't know.
That's a very good mental image.
I'll figure it out, but. Yeah, there's a bunch of new weird stuff in that game. So, check it out if you're curious, I guess.
Don't tell me what to do.
Aaron, have you been playing some old F-Zero?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that at that event they had, well, I said they had a lot of arcade games. They had F-Zero AX, the arcade game. That was... I never seen the arcade game before. It was pretty.
Now, neat. Is that the one you can take your like GameCube memory card?
Yep.
What?
I mean, it's a sit down. The seat sways. There's a wheel. I mean, it's legit.
Man.
I think it was sometime last year. Somebody found that on the GameCube version of F-Zero GX, AX is on there. The whole arcade game is on the disc.
But what was the deal to unlock it? Like something?
I don't remember. I don't think it was anything too intricate. But
does that mean that maybe there's just a GameCube embedded inside that arcade cabinet? It's just an empty cavernous space and a tiny little lunchbox.
As we waited in line for like a half an hour to play this game, I kept wondering, like, is there really a GameCube in there?
Is it a GameCube? If you knock on the side, does it sound hollow inside? Because if it does, it's just a little lunchbox system in there with its cute little handle. I love the GameCube.
They'll never know that it's gone. Girls run.
What color would it be? Would it be the orange spice one inside of there, or would it be like purple?
I would hope so.
Yeah, the orange spice one was the only. I do too. Damn you, Japan. Did you play it?
They did. I didn't. Play it.
Okay.
Yeah, but they did. It's I never got an F-Zero because it was always too hard. I always felt like this is just way too fast. I can't keep up with this. So, yeah.
Same. Yep. I was an old lady apparently at a young age. Yeah, I could.
The Super Nintendo version.
I liked that one,
and I was like, "This is just too fast. I don't."
Wait, that was not too fast.
I liked the Super Nintendo version. I could not play the GameCube version.
And the music was fantastic.
The music was good. I like the. You know what else it was? It was only single player.
But I mean, look, you play enough Mario Kart with your friends, and all you really want to do is punch them in the face. So sometimes you just want to sit down and play a game alone, a racing game by yourself. Because Mario Kart almost ruined many relationships of mine. So, maybe F-Zero had it right.
They might have been on to something.
Yeah, single player racing games are where it's at.
What else? I've still been playing more Semblance on the Switch. I got way past where I was before, but the one thing about that game is like, this is a game where like you're a little blob and you bend things and stuff like that. But they add on more mechanics. Like they have areas where you can't jump or you can't bend or you can't unbend and things like that. But it'll go from like a really easy puzzle to like something where you're getting ready to like break the controller on your own forehead. It's just like, why? I just had so much success, and now like, what am I doing with my life? But it's still worth it. I mean, that game is still a lot of fun. It just came out yesterday, I believe. So I don't know. I'm still digging it. Dante's Inferno finally jumped back in and played some.
Yes,
I love that game.
That game is great. Underrated game.
Yes.
I liked that game a lot.
I just wish they didn't steal so many.
It doesn't matter, man.
Exact elements, including how you open chests from God of War.
Only one way tough guy opens chests. Press X button repeatedly until rip open chest.
Grunt and injure yourself.
That is now backwards compatible on the Xbox One, right?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my disc into that system. That's still super weird for me.
I have been looking forward to that thing. It's been like 2 years. I've been like, when are they coming? And they finally.
They did it.
I couldn't stop playing it. I'm loving it. It's great.
It's very underrated. I like the concept of that game more than God of War. I like the utilization. Yeah.
Like Kratos is like a bag of trash, and I would happily play more games that had the Dante character in it. I don't know. Like the God of War games play fine, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. He's a one-note character, and it gets grating after a while. New God of War kind of aside, because that's different. But yeah, Dante's Inferno was so painfully underrated. I had such a good time playing that game when it came out, and like I said, I like the setting and concept of that game more. So I appreciated like mechanics I could already do being put into a game I was more interested in the story of.
Yeah, plus, didn't that game have like some pretty cool, like hand-drawn-y looking animated segments?
Yes, yeah, they were really neat.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great game! I'm gonna replay that game. I'm gonna put it. See, it's weird to me. It's still weird to me that I can put a 360 disc in my Xbox One it will work.
It's still dope. I still love doing
weird.
It.
What about an original Xbox disc?
That's even weirder. I did that, and I felt like it was just going to burst into flames. Like, this is wrong. I should not be allowed to do this, but I can.
Phil told me I could, but I don't know. So
I trust him. I trust Phil. We're bros. No, we're not.
we go way back.
We go way back. I've never met him.
But we still go way back.
No, totally.
What else? I'm still messing around with the Fire Sticks because you can put RetroArch on the Fire Stick TV. I have 4 of them, and I ordered 4 OTG adapters.
What? Oh my god! Look, see that?
Yeah.
You've got enough Fire Sticks in your house that they're listening to your thoughts at this point. You've made a terrible mistake.
I don't think the Fire Sticks listen.
Don't they have the voice remote?
No, they just send your
it,
personal information directly to Nintendo so that they can sue you later.
Yes, they're your. Oh god,
$150,000 per trademark. No, per game.
Per game, $2 million per trademark. Hold up.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
But look, what I'm saying is that remote. Do you keep the batteries in that voice remote? Well, because it's listening to you.
Don't you have to press the button for it to listen to you?
You would think that. You would also think I have to say the robot's name to get her to listen to me, but I bet she's always listening. So.
Because she always wants to make sure she heard her name.
Yeah. She's checking. So what I'm telling you is they know your secrets. Sorry.
I knew it.
Say thank you to the robots.
Well, I don't know. It's worth it.
Yeah, okay.
It's awesome. Oh, you can also put the Steam Link app on a Fire Stick as well.
Oh,
so,
can you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
So,
you've piqued my interest now.
That's the next thing. I mean, that takes I actually installed the APK. I just didn't launch it yet, but yeah. So why not? Since we're here.
Yeah.
What else? I play a little bit of Pool Panic. I think that's out pretty soon. That's an Adult Swim game. I played it at PAX East. This is a goofy game where like you're controlling like the cue ball, and you just like you start off playing on an actual billiards board, but then as you keep going, like you're playing like anywhere, like you're in the forest, and then the different balls have different like abilities. Like one ball has on roller skates, and whenever you try to like use the stick, you try to hit the ball into the hole, it moves out of the way and laughs at you. Another one like this.
This is my worst fever dream. Like, realize
it kind of is.
Kind of want to play this.
The blue one would like every time I would set up to like hit the cue ball, it would get afraid and run. So you have to kind of hit it to like slow it down, and then you can knock it into the hole. It's weird. It's
me playing pool at all times. Like, I'm scared now. I'm not very good at this.
So
I'm okay. Is this a Switch game or is this on everything else?
I know it's. I played it on Switch. But I think it's coming to PC as well. But it might be like one of those Switch timed exclusives or something like that. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
They, by the way, they paint. Their website says it's the world's least realistic pool game. And I googled it, and that is the first thing that their website says, and I am way into this.
Yeah, it's fun. It's goofy.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Every time I've heard somebody talking about this game, I start picturing the old NES game called Magic Darts.
Why?
You ever seen this game?
I've seen it,
No.
but why do you think about that? I'm just curious.
Because one of the characters in Magic Darts was an alien. And the alien could make the dart fly wherever it wanted through the air
It was
to
a
hit
cheat,
the dartboard.
though, wasn't it?
It was ridiculous. Like that's why it was called Magic Darts. It's like nonsense. And this sounds like nonsense pool.
I'm into that though because I don't want to play regular pool because I'm bad at it. So let's play nonsense pool.
Right.
And now I want to see aliens playing darts.
Right. Just pick up the cue ball and hurl it at the balls on the table.
Kind of what I want to do every time I play pool, to be honest.
Right?
I want to play pool like my children do, where they play it more like skee ball. I want to play.
Oh, you just pick up one end of the
They
pool table
slide
and
it,
let
yeah,
all
Well, they just slide the balls towards the holes and say that they won. I want to play pool like my kids do, but when I do it, I get thrown out of the pool hall. Whatever. All right.
Adults have responsibilities.
I'm supposed to act
nonsense.
like this is crap.
My kids can do it.
I didn't agree to this. I didn't agree to any of this.
What else did I play? Head Snatchers on Steam. It's in early access. It's like a 3D platformer. I don't think you can control the camera though. But
no, what? No.
It's more of a party game, but of course I found the one mode I can play by myself because the kids were doing something, so I have to get them to play sometime maybe like this weekend. I don't know, it's kind of fun. Like, you know, you're going through little stages, you platform, hit a button, the door opens, then all of a sudden I'm on the stage with zombies. I have to shoot the zombies, pull their heads off, and like put them on statues and stuff. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's violent, but it's like cartoony, silly stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
Cuts,
We have the same parenting style. Like, whatever. Like, this is not. If your children don't know this is real, then I get it. But my kids are like, whatever, mom. This is a dumb video game, and it's called Head Snatchers. So yeah, it's in the title.
It's telling you what it's about. We snatch heads. Like, what other questions?
I like a game that doesn't mess around with its title. Pool Panic. Everything is terrible. We're playing pool. Like, it's all wrong. It's all broken. Head
just like
Snatchers.
half
I like it.
the games for Atari. It would just be
yes.
Soccer.
Combat.
Soccer, karate.
Well, if you like names that just pretty much describe what it is, then you'll also like Bomb Chicken for the Switch.
Oh.
Is it a really awesome chicken or delicious chicken or a chicken that's a bomb? I have questions.
It kind of runs the gamut on all of those. Okay, so it's a platformer where you can't jump, but what the chicken can do. Oh, hey, Tiny's in the chat. What the chicken can do is lay bombs. The chicken can lay as many bombs under it as.
Hold on.
That's not how chickens work.
No, it's not.
My mother lied to me about chickens, clearly. So, can it lay a pile of bombs?
Well, it's the thing. They just drop beneath you. So you can. I got to a level where I needed to get something way at the top. I just kept hitting the button and just pooping out bombs, laying bombs.
You bomb jumped with the chicken.
Basically.
Now this sounds like an Atari game, one that uses a paddle.
Yeah.
Warlords of Bomb Chickens. The thing is, if you bomb other chickens, I don't know if you lose. I don't know, like there's a downside because I had a bomb hit. Like, your own bombs can't kill you if you're in the way. But I had a bomb hit one of the other chickens that's just like in the background, and then it just cooks it. It is just like a cooked chicken. And
that is a bomb chicken.
What?
See, we no, you're right. It really does run the gamut.
It's fun.
I'm gonna need to check this game out.
It just came out, like, I think maybe last week. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it.
A bomb chicken. That's great. Oh man.
And I think that's everything that I played. I think that's it. That's enough, I guess. So.
Yeah, more than me.
So, Elaine, this next thing, I don't know. Maybe you already know about it. Maybe you kickstarted it. I know it's right up your alley.
I didn't kickstart it yet.
Well, you might have like 20-something hours to do so. There's a Binding of Isaac card game.
Yes.
They're at like $2 million already. They wanted 50
A lot of
grand.
people really like the Binding of Isaac. I actually told my husband about this because this is one of very few games that he has played a lot of Binding of Isaac. And even my kids, like, they know what it is. And I'm like, should I buy this card game? And he's like, yeah, why wouldn't you do that?
I figured you knew about it because I remember you tweeted a lot about Binding of Isaac.
I like Binding of Isaac a lot. I'm really curious to see how this thing works. I'm into it.
It looked interesting. I'm really getting more into card games and tabletop games, but I don't know who I'm going to play it with. I'm like,
I'm a bad parent, so my children will probably play this with me.
I play this one with the kids. So.
I recognize the artwork.
Yep, it's an Edward McMillan joint.
So what happened with Team Meat exactly? When did they?
I don't know the answer to that question. Yeah, they don't work together anymore. I don't know how. I don't know. So yeah, I'm curious about this. I mean, it's clearly going to get made. So did it say what the delivery date is for this sucker?
I think it's. I don't know. Let me look it up.
Is it pre-Christmas? Because I'm about to buy myself a Christmas present to give my husband. It says
estimated November 2018.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
All right. I will kickstart you.
So
I'm on it. Yes.
Like the fact that like what happens when you go from hey, we need 50 grand. You get like what? What are they gonna show up to everybody's house?
That would be awesome, but my dog would eat them. I think what happens is they make a bunch of booster packs for this game, like kind of like Cards Against Humanity has released additional, additions and packs and stuff. They'll probably just end up doing that and then sending out a certain number of them to backers or something. I don't know. They probably have stretch goals. I'll have to look.
They better have stretch goals like you can play with us on the International Space Station. Like they have.
Yes. Send me to space with this card game. They better have. We'll make an Alexa skill for this thing for that much money.
If no one will play with you, we will come to your home anytime.
That's not creepy at all. Oh man, yeah, that's exciting. I'm glad they're doing that. I think that's making more Isaac like a digital form has probably run its course. So it's cool that they're. I think the mechanics of this will work well for a card game by what they've showed.
It looked interesting. I was very tempted, but went, I don't want to buy this and never be able to play it. So
yeah, I'm gonna buy this. Totally gonna buy this.
It looks fun though.
Yeah, it does.
What else? One arcade one up. Some company I saw Wario64 tweeting about these what are they, 3/4 size arcade machines?
Yep. They're all out, right? Like they're up for pre-order right now at Walmart, perhaps?
At GameStop. They're either 300 or
they're 300. They're $299, I think, for most of them.
MSRP is 400 though.
Yeah, GameStop wants 400. The neat thing is, I think it was Bed Bath and Beyond has them, which means you can use those coupons that everybody has.
20% off, baby. Air horn sounds.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Street Fighter is one of these things, so don't think I haven't opened and closed the page a number of times.
Tony, are you here?
He's on mute.
Yes, okay. I've been here. I've been here for several minutes.
Okay.
As I said in the chat. Anyway.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
So yeah, the MSRP is $400.
Yeah.
$399.99.
That's not free.
No, it's not how American consumerism works. You don't get things for free.
But like,
I guess.
But like, are you really going to pay that much?
I don't.
Well, it depends on what I can do with it. If I can rip the thing open and do stuff with it, then that's actually not a bad price for a fully built,
but
well-constructed art cabinet. Like that's not full size.
Well, assuming it's well constructed.
That's
okay. Yes. Look, I'm gonna wait for the hot YouTube unboxing videos, and then
be like,
that's the way the internet
look,
works.
it's a whole bunch of MDF. Let's pay $400 for this.
I mean, I'm looking at a cabinet in my basement that never gets turned on, so really, let's just not add more. I will end up divorced. That's why I've opened and closed the window a number of times. So,
which cabinets in your basement?
I have a Street Fighter cabinet that was gifted to me for my wedding by my friends. That was in pretty bad shape that I like repainted and cleaned up. And now, the original, not Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter.
Like, hold on. With the 6 buttons or the pressure sensitive buttons?
6 buttons, not pressure sensitive. Yeah, so I ripped out all the buttons, put new buttons in, and put a Street Fighter 2 board in it because that's what people do. I don't want to play Street Fighter. I actually want to play Super Street Fighter 2. If I want to be very specific.
Unless your friends gave you that.
It is, and it is sadly in need of a rewiring. So maybe I'll make that my summer project next summer. She says, and will never do. So.
There's always next summer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep saying I know what you didn't do last summer to my arcade cabinet.
And that joke right out of my head. I was just thinking that.
I only have so many jokes, and most of them are rooted in crappy old movies. So, yeah.
Wow.
If these were well constructed, would any of you buy this thing?
No, I don't have space.
Right.
For it.
That's right. Exactly. It's a big ask.
I now potentially have a spot, but I don't think I would because none of these games, like Rampage, hell no.
No, I don't like Rampage.
Not that much.
The concept of any trackball game you want on it, maybe.
But how many trackball games are there that you really want to play?
If you get the ROM to Simpsons
like
bowling.
None.
For God's sake. Golf. The golf one. That's what I want to play.
Well, you know, I fractured a finger playing what is that? Golden Tee.
Golden Tee.
Yeah. So the way that you need to tell the story is I fractured a finger punching my friend in the face when I lost to them at Golden Tee. Because if you did it on the trackball.
It was basically I'm going to hit this ball as hard as the game allows, and I had a running start.
Oh my God.
And my finger went right into the face of the cabinet.
You deserve this in such a way. Like, that is some salute your shorts level. Like, I can literally visualize the scene.
So not only was it a bad night, For which we actually played darts after that moment, which was
that
quite
wasn't your
unpleasant.
suggestion, I'm assuming.
Was there an alien throwing the darts?
No, there was
Okay.
just me trying to figure out how I'm going to grip this thing with
a broken finger.
The middle finger, which is naturally the longest finger on your hand. That's what hit the cabinet, and I felt the pain in that finger every time I went bowling for almost 15 years after that moment.
Does it still hurt when it rains? That's
no,
the question I need
everything is
right
good now.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Can you still give people the finger if you need to with that hand?
Stephanie,
when it's required, it is still physically possible.
That's maybe the best golden tea story I've ever heard.
Also the worst.
Also the worst. It's a very short list of golden tea stories.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not a long list at
all.
So when I see a golden tea cabinet, I continue walking.
Just middle finger at the look at.
Nope. I tempt no fate. I basically give it a quick nod and continue on.
You have an understanding.
Right. So yes, you have beaten me, sir. Mm-hmm. We are done forever. Thank you.
You both acknowledge each other's existence.
Yes, you give the polite bro nod, as I like to call it. It's the nod, the upward nod.
I reach up and grab the hat that I'm not wearing and pull my brim down.
Give it the tilt, give it the little, right. And then the golden tea machine does the same, and then you realize you should really stop drinking the cough medicine before you go out in public.
Just maybe.
And that's when I turn to the bartender and say, "Sir, I think you made this drink just strong enough.
Check, please. I have darts to play now." Oh God!
What are we even talking about?
Well, we were talking about these arcade cabinets, but let me ask. Like, they're the same size in theory, but the Rampage one wants you to have 3 people next to each other. The Street Fighter one wants you to have 2
small people,
and then Centipede only wants 1. So I'm very confused at like the dimensions they feel people are.
Well, they're all the size of my children, but then much taller. So, you know, in Willy Wonka when they stretch the kid out in the taffy machine,
bring them to the stretching machine.
It's that person. That is the model they used. It was Mike TV. Yeah, these were a bad idea. Like, if you're going to sell an arcade thing in this day and age, you at least give me as many games as are on the SNES Classic, right? Like, come on, man. Like,
I have an idea that they're making this, making it as easy as possible for people to put whatever they want. Otherwise,
I would
just wait for the clearance, and
Yeah.
I mean, so Asteroid, like a genuine Asteroids cabinet, looks really nice.
Yes.
And if the cabinet, which is basically all, like if it's a vector monitor or something that like can approximate it to the point of looking like it's Asteroids, Lunar Lander, Tempest, and I can't quite make out the fourth game that's on there. Major Havoc. Sorry.
Oh wow.
It's like, you know, if it looks. Like, if it convinces me that it looks like vector graphic, like how bright that is and just the brilliant lines and everything, that alone would be kind of interesting to me. But I doubt that it looks that good.
No, there's no way. Not for $3.99.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No. It's an interesting concept right now. It's like, look, everybody's buying miniaturized versions of things they used to love. Let's make a big one. Just find some room for this thing, guys.
Yeah, if I could go to Cracker Barrel and buy a $20 version of this, absolutely.
Yeah, sure, yes. Yeah.
What else? No Man's Sky is back, everybody.
It's apparently the game they promised it was when it was supposed to launch. I haven't played it yet. Have any of you guys checked out the update?
I've never checked out the game, period.
Whoa. I played it for like 5 hours-ish at launch, and I was like, it's too meandering for my personal taste, and I never went back to it. I would consider revisiting it now. So.
Well, if a friend of mine sends me their spare copy, I will gladly revisit it.
Hello, Mr. Thompson.
When I say to you, I will send out my extra copy of No Man's Sky. See, this is how we get tweets about my spending habits. I want you to know.
Oh, yeah, Taji mentioned because of the Spider-Man.
This is how we get tweets about my spending habits. When you mention things like my extra copy.
Well, I didn't say you. I just said a friend of mine. I never actually said it was you.
It was pretty.
No, sorry. It's a friend of ours.
Oh, even better.
Clear distinction.
Oh boy.
The higher level of.
But yeah,
respect.
again, and Taji recognized that Spider-Man PS4 looks very sexy. So
I don't think he recognized it initially, but he came around on it.
It's very red. I mean, like, aggressively red. Like, it's coming for you. Like, I would have expected
I hope that's like a
quote
quote on the back of the box. It's very red.
It's in all capital letters in red, and it just says, it's very red, Elaine from the internet.
That's very specific.
That thing, that's what I imagined the God of War PlayStation was going to look like. Just blood.
Well, that's what the PS3 one looks like.
It does. And then there's a Gears of War Xbox 360 that also had the blood red thing going on.
Is it a pro or is it a regular?
It's a pro.
It is a pro.
It better be a pro.
Which is why I'm willing to upgrade the God of War one that I have. Because I mean,
upgrade. You mean smashing it with Thor's hammer?
You got to commit to the bit.
I'm sure I can find another friend that needs a PS4, and we can make dreams happen.
This is starting to sound like dirty back alley deals here, guys. Like, if you start stuffing them inside your trench coats, what are you buying? Like, it's
I've got this copy of NES for the PSP, and I don't know what I'm going to get for it. But
in theory, that's how I got my first GameCube.
From a guy in a back alley, or like
someone else got it from an alley.
Tiny was in line behind the woman who had PS.
Then I was given it. So, and later told the story of where it came from.
And never open the inside of it because there's probably drugs in there. Just don't open it. Don't open the box. Don't open the lunchbox.
Yeah.
Keep it closed.
There's a copy of a Traffic on UND.
It's a bunch of mini discs that someone hand burned with sweet mixtapes inside of it.
As people don't want to do.
As people were meant to do in 2001.
Yep.
So
I just saw
a hot
this.
Banger.
Beef in the chat says, "Oh, by the way, hey Beef. I'm not sure who Beef is, but thank you for watching, Beef. He or she says that they're excited for the 1-Up arcade cabinets, but they're disappointed because the Final Fight one got delayed. I didn't know there was a Final Fight.
There was a Final Fight. All right. I'm back.
I'd be curious what else is on that cabinet, though.
Yeah. Okay. I now have more questions, so I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Also, wait a minute. Well, okay, yeah, Street Fighter, so Capcom. So this
Final Fight 1944 Ghost and Goblins in Strider, it looks like.
Do they want you to smash the screen on that thing?
Yes.
Just want you to get pissed and punch it?
Mike, are we going to be helping you move an arcade cabinet?
No. My grunt was not a happy one. It was,
that's an old man shaking his cane at the arcade cabinet grunt. Yeah.
How about, I think, to be perfectly honest, I'd probably be more interested in one of those cabinets that does like 48 games in one or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You build that yourself. Don't even buy,
All right. Completely legally, mind you. 100% above board.
Have you all gone to the arcade 1-Up website?
I'm afraid
I just saw
to
the
click
video
on
for
it.
Oh, you should go to the website because they also sell accessories. One being a box, so you can put your arcade up on it, so it can be properly sized for humans.
Yeah, because the video they all look like they were different heights. I'm like, well,
I thought it was
stool.
Oh no!
Branded stool.
Please no. I actually thought when you said a box, you meant like a milk crate to stand on if you're a kid to play the thing. Because that's what happened when I was a kid at the arcade. I used to go play Street Fighter 2, and I was short and young, and I had to stand on a milk crate to properly play that game. So yeah, now I've had a flashback to my younger years.
Repress.
Yeah,
it was bound to happen. All right, what else we have here? Apparently, you can pre-order the Switch Online cards. Why you need to pre-order a card with a code in it, I don't know. They're $20. I get. Yeah, I don't.
What? But no.
What does that even mean? What does
It
the
means
Switch
you're
Online
buying a year of the service ahead of time. And
No.
It's the Xbox Live cards, but
Yeah.
You want to be the first one to get online
to play the games. To play the games that you're already playing for free.
Right.
That's going to go super well in September.
Let me hurry up and give you money to play Splatoon online.
Yo,
I'm playing
Splatoon
now.
is very fun, but we're good.
Why are we talking stuff on Splatoon? Splatoon's a great game.
But if you can play it online for free now, how excited are you going to be to play it to pay money to play it?
Pre-order.
I mean, I'll be honest. As an adult, it's $20.
Right.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm getting.
Yeah.
I didn't say
right, but there's a difference between I don't care if you take the $20 out of my account and I'm going to wait in line to buy a card that allows me to say I paid for this 3
I don't know
months
why,
before they're going to take the money.
Well, I guess here's the question: do you get can you use the Best Buy discount to get the card?
Probably
they don't
not.
ever
They
work
don't.
on digital cards,
Yeah.
so no. But here's the thing.
Why would you?
Well, the problem is going to come when this thing launches. There's going to be a lot of parents who bought Switches for younger kids who are going to be really confused about the entire process. So maybe they're hoping to get ahead of some of that. Now, I'm looking for the logical explanation here. Okay, I realize it's a stretch, but it's possible that they're trying to get these in front of people now to be like, look, this is a thing that's happening, so.
Oh, it's a thing. It's a thing.
They'll pay.
They'll pay.
And no, they will. I will. I'll pay. You can have my $20.
Yeah,
Look, cloud saves are worth $20 a year to me for a portable device.
I mean, cloud infrastructure is not free.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
The
It's not
clouds
free.
are free.
No, that's not how the internet works. I can't do this today.
That's not how any of this works.
That's not how any of this works. Well, for Sony, you have to pay for Plus to get cloud saves, right?
I think it's the other way around. I think cloud saves are free with Sony, but I think you have to have gold for cloud saves.
It's one or the other. One of them is paid and one of them is free. I have
all
both,
I know.
so I don't know how this works anymore. But
Sony used to require
I think
the PS3
Plus.
Yeah, so it's free
nowadays.
on PS3,
I don't even know.
But the Switch is a portable device. Probability of losing that thing, dropping it in a toilet, having it smashed, much higher than my PS4.
Having a copy
speak
of
for
Smash
yourself,
for
Elaine, but sure.
I don't carry my PS4 into the bathroom with me. Okay, I have a
Oh.
PSP for that. I like to live in 2001. Okay.
I was like, wait, she said PSP.
Yeah.
Well, I play my Vita in the shower, so yeah, we're all sharing.
Damn,
things.
you got that waterproof OtterBox case for that thing? Are you putting? Wait, hold on.
No.
He
He lives
Ziploc
life
bag.
dangerously.
No,
There
he
is
puts
no
it in a
waterproofing.
Ziploc bag.
Wait, is it plugged in charging? I'm confused at what the dangerous part
I didn't think
is.
there'd be follow-up questions. I just feel like I'd make a dumb statement and be left alone.
Oh, I wasn't going to let that go. See, you forget who you have on this podcast. I'm willing to ride a joke all the way into the ground.
Oh, Beef says that PlayStation Plus is needed for cloud save. So
Okay, so it is PlayStation that you need
Beef
for
is
cloud
Brett,
saves.
by the way.
So it's okay.
Hey, Brett.
It's also a good. It's a good name. Beef.
Where's the beef?
Where's the
I feel
Brett?
like the $20 a year for just cloud saves is, I don't know. I don't think that's unreasonable. I get that people are going to be upset about it, but
I'll get over it. I'm okay.
I think it's more upsetting to allow people to play your games for free for pretty much a year online and then take it away from them and run away unless they pay. That's worse to me.
Yeah. As soon as there's a reason for me to want to play something online on Switch, I will hand money over. But until then, I just don't care. I played ARMS online a couple of times. I was like, oh, these people are good, and I'm not. So
Man, my kids played a lot of that online.
so much for
Mario Kart is still worth playing with friends if you can find people to play with.
Yeah, Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, Splatoon's a lot of fun.
Splatoon is a lot of fun.
I enjoy the heck out of Splatoon.
We still play that in this house. It's good stuff.
See, I try not to rebuy games I already purchased for the Wii. So
Let's not do this. We're not. The sodium level just increased exponentially on this podcast. Your blood pressure is going to go up from this.
This podcast has sodium? I don't know.
It does now.
There's a lot of salt.
That was the joke.
I feel like we need to explain it.
We need to dissect things until they're not funny anymore.
Oh God, what's next on the list of things to talk about?
Nothing. Apparently, that the C64 mini thing is coming out here. I have no nostalgia for the Commodore 64 at all.
Nope.
So I don't
Same.
care.
Don't care.
So
I mean, it's cool for people to do, but
go for it. But I knew one kid with it, and he told me about Gianna Sisters. And I said, "Was it better than Mario?" He said, "Well, no." Then why are we talking about this?
Oh man. I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
Real critical thinking back then.
Hey, I recognize the C64 as like a landmark thing in computer gaming. I just never owned one or knew anybody that had one, so I didn't care.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
The concept of the C64 was really cool, though, and I think it paved the way for a lot of other things. I have no reason to go back and play anything on it.
I'm big about away paving, but I can't get everything.
I appreciate the legacy. I just don't need to purchase it in this situation.
Like I own Gianna Sisters for the DS. It's worth like $60.
Oh, I think it's worth a lot more than that now.
Oh,
really?
Well, there we go.
Last I looked, it was like somebody had lit a fuse at the bottom of the bottle rocket, and it was just up in the air. It's about to come down, I'm sure, but
no, don't say that, man. Don't
bottle rockets don't exactly just like turn into.
No, they just keep going.
They go to space. That's how SpaceX was formed. Didn't you know?
Like Starman. They just said, "Hey, we'll send him out, and then in 100 years he'll be nothing because radiation will disintegrate him."
Right. So what you're saying is that the International Space Station is just built out of discarded bottle rockets that ended up in space.
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody got angry at a bag of like trash and just hurled it into space, and now we live there.
It's bottle rockets and old Atari Jaguar shells. That's
all the golden tea machines that people launched into space after breaking their middle finger on them. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I had to talk about that again, did we?
That's never gonna die. I'm gonna follow you on Twitter just to weekly send you a message about that one.
just send me like scary looking photographs of
going to make a very ominous photo of a golden tea machine with just the message "soon" in the screen.
7 days.
I will follow that Instagram account.
Okay, got it. It's a different one. Sometimes it's on a beach. Sometimes it's behind your house. You don't know where it's going to show up.
And Tiny, did you add this?
The last one was me.
Oh, you added it. Okay.
I added that. So apparently, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is coming to VR, Oculus, and HTC Vive next week. And it'll be free for people who already purchased the game on PC. I think that's kind of awesome.
That is
when
awesome.
Developers do that.
I only have PSVR, but that's awesome.
I'm really curious to see what that is in VR, because that game was quite an immersive thing without putting you in a headset.
Yeah, I have it on Steam. It's something.
It's a great game. But I'm just curious what they're going to do with that, and I will check that out.
And
I'll put a headset on.
This is Microsoft. I mean, since they are owned by Microsoft now. That's interesting.
Oh, that's right. They purchased Ninja Theory. Interesting.
Which I saw that, and that's why I started to wonder, I bet this is not coming to PSVR.
Well, I guess it depends on what the legacy agreements are. Like,
yes.
Sure.
The understanding I have is that they had started working on this while they were still in development of the game. Like, they came out with a statement like, we're not in this to make money. We're in this because we wanted to tackle a challenge. So, I mean, if you really want to tackle a challenge, put that thing in PSVR, which just does not have the,
Yeah, which is something that really doesn't make me feel awesome because I literally just bought that game on Xbox like 3 days ago. I was like, oh, I could have, on PS. All right, whatever.
But I hope you play it. It's really good.
It is good.
It has quite a few things to say.
Going to be playable with any of the Windows mixed reality stuff, because they do have headsets out there,
like the HoloLens and stuff like that.
Oh, no,
I doubt.
HP
that's right.
makes one, Lenovo, Dell.
Yeah,
aren't those dead? Like, aren't they?
I mean, they kind of are.
Just put out the pasture. Like,
we sent them to the farm.
Like, they got released, and then they were like, we're good.
Yeah, they were more expensive, I think, than they sustainable. I suspect
they came. I mean, I got one when it was like 200, and then I just couldn't get it to work, and I sent it back. But,
sounds about right.
A sign of a quality product.
Yep.
I bought it for $200, and then I couldn't get it to work.
GameEnthus endorsed.
And I have at least a knowledgeable working use of technology, and I just couldn't get it to work. So
sounds about right.
Awesome.
I thought that this was the reason I thought the story was cool, is because they're just like, it's free. That's a lot of development work to make something free, You got
that Microsoft money coming in there. It's like,
that's true.
Put extra sesame seeds and cheese on it.
I mean, even before they got purchased by Microsoft, they did very well with that game. that title. And they've made other good titles in the past. It's not like the only thing they've ever done. So
Right.
True.
Like Disney Infinity 3.0, right?
didn't they
Right.
do?
Didn't they Enslaved?
Yes.
Yes, they did.
Why is that
And
not
that game
backward
is-
compatible yet?
I don't look. I bought it on
I
PC
thought
for
it got-
$5 because
I
it's
thought
that
it got
good.
announced.
I want to say it did because they're obviously because they own the studio now. So why wouldn't they make all their past games backwards compatible?
Exactly.
Did they do that? They didn't do the Devil May Cry DMC, right? That was not Ninja Theory.
Yeah, it was.
Was
so.
it?
Yeah.
Because that was
Yeah,
really good, and that
DMC.
made them pretty tidy penny. I thought that was them. Oh, yeah, they've done well for themselves over the years. Here, have a cool free thing. I will definitely replay that game in VR if it works well.
Me too. Well, yeah, if they make it on PSVR.
If they put it on the yeah.
All right. Beef says Heavenly Sword. So yeah, they did do Heavenly Sword. Did somebody say
Yes,
that?
that's
Heavenly
right.
Sword, yeah.
I forgot
I
about that.
still think that's a cool game.
It is a
I
cool
own
game.
it. Never played it.
It's look, the
Oh,
hair
you
tech was
should
a
at
little
least
rough
check
back
it
then,
out.
but you should check it out.
It's one of those games that says we need to make the 6-axis do something.
Oh yes.
Right, so we throw
Oh.
you throw an awful lot of like gongs and whatnot at explosive barrels.
Look, Uncharted did it best, man. Those grenades that were required to use it. Oh,
I think didn't they patch that out even
Yes,
for the
they
first one
did.
eventually?
I think they
And
did.
what was that game where you're like riding a dragon? Lair or something?
Lair.
Blair. Oh,
Where it was originally forced upon you, and then later they're
And it
like,
did not
"Yeah,
work."
forget it. We'll
and
just."
they're like, how about we give you the analog sticks?
That was
Okay.
horrible, man.
I
You know
remember.
what? Let me see. I think. Yep. Yeah. Here it is, and the shrink wrap is still on it.
Is that Lair?
Yep.
You're holding on to a hot banger there.
I did
Need to
rent
cut
it
that
and
guy
actually
open
play it though. And then it's still got its clearance sticker from Target slapped right on it.
How much did you pay for that?
If you said Circuit City, that would have been so much better.
Yeah,
You
and
said
you
Circuit
paid
City.
$15 on clearance for that thing.
Yeah.
You
At the
overpaid.
time, I thought that was a hot deal.
Yeah, Beef is right though. He said Lair killed Factor 5. That's true.
That's true, and it's
Yeah.
devastating because Factor 5 made okay games.
Yeah, they made those awesome Star Wars games.
Yeah, they
right?
did.
Man, rest in peace, Factor 5.
Factor
Now,
5.
between the forced upon you 6-axis and the lack of rumble and its shoddy explanation, PS3 really came out of the gate hot.
And who would
Man.
have thought that a company would look at that and then come out even worse?
Just look.
Yeah. Let's insult the military and make you have to have an internet connection.
We have a solution for you. It's called the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
It's called the thing
Can't
that we're not
believe
supporting in 2
That
years.
was the answer. Or the bad answer. Just-
It was. But
Yeah.
we all learned. We all learned to
Well,
not launch our own
that's a
console.
fine answer for someone who doesn't understand the cycles of technology at all. Like, oh yes, we do support
mean
things that
The
don't
head
require.
of development for the
Right.
platform.
Clearly, someone who either didn't care or didn't want to care.
Both.
Yes.
In
The answer
tandem.
to the question is yes.
Oh, wait,
Yes.
there's a third option. Had ill will already bent and was willing to take the
Wanted to
company
be
down.
CEO, was looked over and
Right.
scorched earth. There we go.
Right.
That's there you go.
We have something for you. I call it scorched earth policy.
Have you seen our hot new model of the Xbox 360 that we're launching alongside our new consoles? Didn't they announce the E at the same time?
I
That
want to say, yeah, it was one
Was
of the
that the
same-
conferences.
oh my god, it was right at the
Looked the
same
same.
time.
And they,
Yes. Yep.
they shared
Yeah.
a lot of design choices.
And they said the Xbox One will not even turn on unless the Kinect is plugged in.
It's like,
Shh, don't say that too loud. My Kinect is looking
No,
at me right
I was
now.
gonna say, well,
Shh.
I have to. I mean, you have to say Cortana now, at least for mine.
Yeah, me
Well,
too.
I think,
Yeah.
I think
For the
mine
longest
is
time, I was trying to
unplugged.
figure out why it wouldn't turn on anymore, and
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, why did I
Yes.
break? And then I was like, no.
Oh, it
Yeah, but
No,
didn't
you
they-
can't. You
didn't they
can't go
undo
into the
that,
menu and say,
Yeah.
"I still want to refer to this thing as Xbox."
Oh, I should probably do that because I really like
Yeah.
screaming at my Xbox from the top of the stairs. Turn on!
Xbox turn on.
Yeah, I keep yelling, "Use a code!"
I do that too, and it's like, No, you
the
can't.
best functionality in the Xbox, and they took it out.
The worst part about it is that you buy things and they still have the stupid QR code on
Yeah.
the printout. So it's like, why are you taunting me? I want to hold it up to the camera. I don't want to
Can I
type in.
use my
South
Windows
Park?
phone?
Oh, dude, don't. That's not. It's too soon. Rest in peace, Windows Phone.
South Park, the fraction cut bullshit with the QR code.
Yeah, I just opened something the other day. It might have even been not State of Decay, but something else. That was an Xbox game that still had a QR code on the sheet, and I'm like, why are you doing this to me? It's not funny.
You taunt me.
You mock me. Monsters.
All right, I think that's it.
We did it.
We did it.
It's fair.
Score.
No one's fingers were broken in the making of this podcast.
We're not
That's
done
what
yet.
you think.
Quick, put your hands out. I got something to do. Which middle finger was it?
For me, that was my right hand.
I
It
assumed.
was. I am right-handed.
Yeah.
I was attempting to give all of my humanly might.
All of
That
it.
ball
Every
was
bit.
supposed to go 1,000 yards, and instead,
That'd be one impressive drive. I'm just
Right,
gonna throw this out
exactly.
here from like a golf
I was
standpoint.
going to hit that ball with an
But, like-
inhuman force.
I love the mental image of you getting a running start from like halfway across an arcade or bowling alley. Actually, is what I have
Oh,
in my
it
head.
was a really crappy
had to-
bar.
I just
Had to be a
really
bar.
ill-conceived.
bar.
I
Yeah,
don't-
like it had
Yeah.
to be a bar.
Right.
That's right. Golden
Also,
Team
I
should-
had not been drinking at all.
Well, you really
That
should
I find surprising.
save. Honestly,
It was a
I'd have been
different time.
drinking
Now,
my own
granted,
purchased drinks.
it would
the
have made.
drinking happened after.
Yeah, I was going to say something needs to, like, deal with the pain of breaking a finger on.
It was bad
I-
times.
it's a good story. You should hold on to that one.
Yeah, maybe I should have held on to it a little closer to the vest.
I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I believe we were talking about the land of chocolates.
That was
Shall
10
we
minutes
start-
ago.
Let's start singing the Oompa Loompa song. Hold on. Oh boy.
All right, Elaine, shout outs, plugs, all those wonderful things.
I don't have a ton, but it'd be cool if folks would follow me on Twitter or Twitch. I'm ET Dragon on both of those services.
Okay.
You'll get pictures of my dogs, and video games, and probably the food that I eat. That's just how I roll these days. So.
Hopefully before you've eaten it. But yeah, I mean, whatever. That's good.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not a monster. Okay. All right. Let me rephrase. I'm kind of a monster, but I'm not that kind of a monster. Because I'm still taunting people on the internet with this delicious meal that I'm about to eat, right? So yes, I'm a monster, but I'm not a disgusting trash monster. Okay, I'm 50. All right, look. I'm ET Dragon on pretty much every service. Feel free to follow me. And thank you guys for having me on. This has been a blast, as
Well,
always.
thank you for joining. It's good to have you back. It's been
Yeah.
far too long.
It's true.
That's what we tell everybody. That's
We
been
really
on the
do.
show.
We
You
really
know-
do. But we mean it every time.
Yeah, I don't say that as if it's like untrue. It's just lately I feel like the last year straight, every repeat guest has been like, "Sorry, it's been 5 years since you've been on the show."
It's not personal. We just forgot you existed on the internet. It's okay. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah. I might not look like an Aaron, but I feel like an Aaron. I mean, that's all I got. I don't know. All right, now, Mike, please.
I do, as always, encourage people who are eligible to donate blood, and if you have any pets, to have them spayed or neutered. Professionally, of course.
Yeah, don't do it yourself. I was going to ask for
No.
clarification on that.
You know, you don't want a rusty spoon and
All right.
an internet Wikipedia page.
KFC spork and good intentions.
Right.
No, those things break too easily. You gotta.
No, yeah, I bet.
I can't
Actually,
believe
you know
we're
what?
doing
I'm not
this.
even gonna. Never mind. Never mind.
Dude,
Yep.
I
Never
took
mind.
this is a joke I took too far, and I apologize. So.
Tiny, since
Yes.
you joined us so in time for the closing.
To give shout outs. Hey, I'm gonna be at PsychoCon this weekend.
That hasn't happened yet. You've
for
been talking
actually-
about it for like a month.
Yeah, there's been a lot of drama around it.
Okay. This is the event where everybody watches with Vince Vaughn the remake of Psycho.
Man, that joke is funnier every week.
Every week.
See, this is how we know you've been talking about it for a while.
So
you brought it on yourself. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
So So anyway, hey, we'll be up in Allentown talking about Extra Life at this anime convention. Just to clarify what it is. So if you're at the event or whatever, stop on by, say hi. Friday through Sunday, and if not, you should go to Extra Life and sign up. And if you want a team, come join the GameEnthus team. extra-life.org/team/GameEnthus. So, and raise money for your local Children's Miracle Network hospital. /
So,
but yeah, Aaron.
Oh wow, I guess it is. Wow, yeah. Well, Elaine, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you on the show once again.
Thank you for having me again. I had a blast.
Good. Thank you for all the people who jumped into the chat. I would name you all, but then I'd leave someone out, so I'm not going to do that. Thank you all. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Sorry the camera thing just didn't work this week, but hopefully next week we'll get that sorted out. I'm pretty sure it's something I just didn't click, but I did not see anywhere where it was on Discord, and Tiny wasn't here, so we're going to blame him. That is not the right thing to do.
Okay, yeah, we could talk about how cameras work after this.
But there's nothing here that indicates a camera. Nothing.
Right, because if you remember correctly, last week we didn't use the podcast recording audio channel. You start a message group. So, like, if you right-click and hit message, you start that, and then you hit camera inside there.
Oh, no.
That turns on.
The internet is very hard, you guys.
Literally what we did last week.
If you would have been here, you could have stopped me from doing something stupid.
I was on an Extra Life leadership meeting. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, our meetings are on Saturday mornings at this really cool game shop. So that's not really my fault.
No, that's a guild meeting. This was like all the guild leaders meeting with the national team.
Oh.
This was the creme de la creme.
I won't go that far, but
what are you trying to imply about these people?
Well, it's just a lot of the guild leaders. Like, I don't know.
Something about cream. I think it was clearly
something about crop. I don't know.
It's the people that got suckered into being leadership. That's
oh, so you're in good company then.
So, didn't want to be president, but anyway. 4 years later. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Aaron, you're still doing your way.
I'm doing what now?
Your goodbyes or whatever, your wrap up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you want to leave us feedback, you can always email us at podcast@GameEnthus.com or leave us voicemail at 202-573-7686. Lord willing, we'll be back next week.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. We'll have another guest who will say words, and we'll hear them. I don't know. That's all I have.
I got a code for the Banassaga 3. Sweet.
Okay. That's
Maybe I should check my email.
Well, no, I kickstarted that game. I kickstarted the first one, and they
maybe I should check codes. Tiny's email once in a while.
Like they just keep sending codes. Like I gave him $15. I don't know, 8 years ago or something. Who knows?
Maybe they're like Tiny Bill. They're like, you know what? Take every code. No, somebody sent me. Here's every version of this game. I'm like, okay.
Yes, Tiny Build is very generous.
Yeah, very generous.
The codes that they give out.
And they're illuminated lanyards and free pizzas and things that they
and
they
nice
do.
PR folks. So,
yeah. What was that for?
What?
Speedrunners.
Speedrunners, yep.
Speedrunners, yeah, that launch party. Yeah. Man. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Elaine, any final words? What do we got here?
I think that's it for me. Thank you, everybody, for listening to our nonsense, especially my nonsense. I have very good nonsense, the best nonsense.
100% pure.
100% the best.
100%.
Pure nonsense straight from the source.
No chaser, no.
No. You got to take
it's not
that
from
nonsense.
concentrate. It's just straight nonsense.
No, this is like fresh off the vine nonsense.
That's right.
Okay.
We also won't be telling you who I've told that nonsense to anymore. It'll be great.
Look, it's proprietary nonsense. Okay, look. Shh.
That's like a great name for a band.
Proprietary nonsense?
Yeah.
It's probably the name of my Matchbox 20 cover band.
When you're gone, maybe it's time to
now
go
I'm done. I've done my part.
home.
Oh man.